Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're discussing Solo Leveling chapter 124. At point of recording, the chapter's been out for approximately 3 hours or so by the time this gets uploaded, which should probably be in the next 45 minutes, it would have been out for about 4 hours. So admittingly, this is because of a conflict. I go to martial arts class. The time it gets released, it's an hour and a half. Come back, you get changed, and it is what it is. That being said, you probably would not want to know about my personal life, so let's get into this review. So how really to articulate my review on this chapter? It's a tale of two halves for sure. The ending is probably the most exciting bit, and the lead up to that. But the little subtleties I want to discuss, and I'll split into two parts. So the first part is a continuation of essentially the Japanese Swords Guild and Yuri, and it's literally carrying on that sentence. Listen, I want 3.6 billion a year or 10 million a day. You pick. You tell me what you want to do. And he's essentially confident of his skills. He essentially tells the vice captain, who is now captain of this guild, that basically I'm better than the trash behind you, which kind of like, really, are you? Show me. It's that kind of a subconscious confirmation, because they're not really understanding each other, because you, the S-Class, don't really understand Russian, although we the readers understand, but they're working off body language and how things are said, which can be misleading as hell. But essentially, he's so confident in his ability, and he thinks the other S-Classes are trash. To which point, he shows his ability by saying, listen, if I don't want you to move, you're not going to move. And he uses an ability, and the two characters behind the male and the female, Minaru and Kanai, basically can't move. And he goes, okay, point's been made, you do what you want. To which the vice captain, or now captain, says, you've proven your ability, but I don't know if they're gonna, accept funding. What I found interesting with this, there's two things. Number one, what this establish is that this guy, Yuri Orlov, is basically levels above these famous S-Class or S-ranked fighters, magicians, hunters, whatever you want to call them. But he's not national class. What gives this away is he mentions Thomas Andre, I believe, because he says Thomas from the translation I read, and he says Thomas would have charged you 35 or 36 trillion a year, and he's only offering 3.6. So that is a big jump. I mean, literally billion, trillion. There's a big difference there. For him to be confident in his ability to say an outlandish amount, but not as confident to say the amount that Thomas Andre is saying, ultimately tells you where he sits. So he's above the level S-Class level that we're expecting. He's not national class from what we can understand, and he's not Jin Woo best hunter in the world class either. So imagine what Jin Woo could ask for. I don't know what's above a trillion. Is it a zillion, a pentillion? I'm not sure. I've never really thought about money beyond a trillion, to be honest. That being said, that's interesting. How powerful are the national hunters? Now, it's hard to really see how impressive they are, because we, the audience, you and I, are used to Jin Woo developing weak to strong, and now he's this unbelievable character. But ultimately, in their world, there has to be a scale to compare him to, because he's kind of in his own world right now. So it's nice to know where people compare to each other. So it'd be nice to see what these national level hunters can do, bearing in mind the S-Class hunter that went from Korea to America, got his ass whooped by Daddy Jin Woo, his papa. So I don't know how strong he is as well. I did spoil myself, I won't say on here, about his ranking or unofficial ranking, but ultimately it doesn't really tell us much, other than the fact that we don't know. We know he's not national class, and so that's him done. Let's just forget about that. that's cool, and we get that they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But until something happens action-wise, that's where that thread of that line of that story will stop. And then we get to the juicy bits. So, he's popping out. Apparently, Sun Jin Woo's got an appointment, has he? He tells his mum not to worry, and he's got a key in his hand with a time limit, and then a location is revealed. What I found interesting is the system is telling him about the location, but the gate's been there for 3 days, and we get confirmation of this, and it happens to be in the school literally where he'd been just before. What this ultimately means, in my opinion, is that if they're reopening in same locations, if they basically just put up a point and say, listen, keep an eye on this location, let me know if anything happens, and just watch if a gate opens, they might just need to revisit locations, and hopefully close them before they've been out too long. That being said, he basically, Sun Jin Woo reveals himself, and he says, oh, so it's been here for 3 days. So that basically says the system is telling information to him, but it's also withholding information. And if you think about all the times he's had discussions with beasts from the other world, he's asked some questions and then something blurs out and protects the rest of the information, kind of like a filter saying, this is all you need to know right now. And time will tell whether you'll find out about these other things, right? So it's interesting the system is still withholding information even though he's gone beyond level 100. And I'm hoping it gets to a point where very soon, where one, all his abilities are at the point where he can teleport anywhere in the world and he doesn't have this cooldown, but two, that it's telling him more information, and hopefully soon. So we get to this, the gate, and the guild, the people who are essentially part of the Hunter Association, basically saying, oh, we measured it, it's a C-class gate, and yeah, and they're making the exact same mistake that they made last time with the E-class gate, and it turned out to be a double dungeon. Sun Jin Woo goes in, he goes, listen, we need to get these people out, it's dangerous in there. So he goes in, and lo and behold, the assault team from the Courage Guild, I believe they're called, is at the double door gate, but they can't open the gate because they need the key. He obviously rocks up Sun Jin Woo and says, listen, it's a trap, get out, uses a key, manages to open it. Opens it slightly, to which point one of the members who's fully suited up and looks like a knight says, listen, we've paid permit to be here, you can't tell us what to do even if you are an S-class. Obviously they go through are you the Sun Jin Woo, the famous S-class hunter, blah 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 blah. The usual reaction for people that meet a celebrity in the story. But then, you might be that person, but still you can't really tell us what to do, which is true, because essentially if they paid for the permit, they are legally able to be there, I guess. So he goes, cool, go ahead. And then as soon as the guy enters, he nearly gets decapitated, and he has to get saved by Sun Jin Woo. And it's those same giants that were at the door originally that were stopping people. And that was kind of funny, even though it was serious. And he's like, look, just get out and tell the Untitled Association that it's a double dungeon. And he goes inside. And at this point, after 124 chapters, we're finally going to get to see him go back. And it's like full circle. But things are different now. His senses are better. He's physically stronger. He's more in tune with his abilities. And he was automatically able to say one thing. He was able to say that the guy that sat in the middle, who was smiling last time, you know the one, that you had to pray to, that he's the mastermind. And basically that the rest of them were puppets. And then he went to that tablet that looks like it's written in Hebrew or Aramaic or something like that. And then that statue starts smiling. He goes, oh, you made it this far. And that it literally had a proper gremlin type of smile, like that sinister smile that's up to no good. And I was like, things are about to get crazy. And you can't help but get excited. But again, it's like weekly, you've got to wait a week. And this is a bad thing for me about, catching up and being up to date, is you have to wait another week now to read it. And it's like, but stuff to get excited about. Anyway, wow, I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I cannot wait to see what happens next. As always, please like, comment, share and subscribe. I will put all my links down below. I do have a little subreddit where I will post all my videos and links for any chapters that I might find. So please check that out. That's r/the_manga_man, sorry, the manga man. It'll be on there. Feel free to check it out. My reviews and links to any websites that I find mangas on are there. So feel free to check it out. Like, comment, share and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.